This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. The Rolex Daytona, like many other Rolex watches, has established itself as the pinnacle of valuable timepieces. This is especially true of the Daytona. The Daytona is designed to appeal to clients in the rapidly developing market for racing watches, which is experiencing an increase in the number of buyers looking for a timepiece that not only looks attractive but also maintains exceptionally precise time. The Rolex Daytona combines exceptional craftsmanship with high-accuracy chronograph capabilities to track time elapsed and, more importantly, speed. It gets its name from a famous town in Florida where racing was popular in the early 1900s. They are not cheap, but that is to be expected given that they are Rolex watches. Even the most fundamental oyster steel Daytona model can set you back more than $13,000, putting it out of reach for many prospective purchasers. The good news is that even though they might not be as pricey as a Rolex, many great racing timepieces are accessible for folks who are working with more limited financial resources. Our analysis of the top alternatives to the Rolex Daytona will cover models that fall into the typical budget, mid-range, and premium pricing groups. As a result, regardless of how much money you have to spend, you should be able to get your hands on a wonderful racing watch. Number 1. The Gerard Perego Laureato Chronograph. The Gerard Perego Laureato Chronograph is a stunning work of art produced by a company founded in 1791, making it substantially older than both Audemars Piguet and Patek Philippe. In fact, Gerard Perego has even produced multiple movements for Patek Philippe in the past. To put it mildly, the Laureato chronograph model is really stunning, with a better value finish than any Rolex model and a lot more attention to detail on every part of it, including the bracelet, case, dial, and even the in-house GP03-300 movement. This hot horlogerie sports watch retails for nearly the same cost as the new stainless steel Daytona, and it's available at a GP boutique and on the gray market at a discount. After giving it some thought for a long time, we've decided that we prefer this watch to the Daytona since it offers a great deal more value. This clock is absolutely stunning because it is polished and brushed H lengths and are juxtaposed with one another, its integrated bracelet, its slim case with short lugs, and its angular screw-down chronograph pushers that are covered by crown guards. This timepiece has a lot to offer, especially in terms of the style of its face, which has clou de Paris pyramids and a wide range of color options for the dial itself. It is even better because it can be purchased in two different sizes, 38mm or 42mm, to accommodate the requirements of those who have wrists of varying circumferences. The addition of the date window between 4 and 5 o'clock is our only problem with this watch. They should have just removed it and kept the dial clean. However, the abundance of other advantages allows me to overlook this. Second is the Omega Speedmaster. Moonwatch as well as Speedmaster is a name that everyone is familiar with, as is the Moonwatch reference. It is an excellent alternative for the Daytona as it shares many superficial characteristics with that model and even offers certain benefits over it. There may be a degree of subjectivity associated with the construction quality due to the fact that some connoisseurs assert that its quality is higher than that of Rolex, while others assert that its quality is only one step below that of the King. Certain types of Speedmaster Moonwatches have display case backs that reveal the complicated mechanism of the watch. These watches have long been recognized as being among the most recognizable timepieces available anywhere in the world. In our honest opinion, the absence of a date wheel on the Speedmaster Moonwatch dial is a good aspect that contributes to the watch's status as a chronograph purist collector's dream. In addition, the dial of the Speedmaster Moonwatch is quite legible. It is possible to have a lot of fun hunting for these special models because they feature a very distinctive appearance in contrast to the conventional appearance of the Daytona or regular Moonwatch. While the majority of Speedmaster references are easily accessible for purchase, there are some that are very difficult to acquire and have actually increased in value. Third, Zenith El Primero. For years, the Zenith El Primero has been regarded as an alternative to the Rolex Daytona, and some even consider it a full-fledged rival. Zenith is commonly considered the first inventor of the first ever automatic chronograph mechanism, which is more than simply a coincidence because of its identical appearance. The El Primero movement was inspected by Rolex and simplified for use in some of the early Daytona models, which should tell you a lot about the El Primero model's usefulness. The El Primero sports a more avant-garde look with subdials in bright colors and a more artistic take on a sports watch overall. Zenith boutiques provide a wide range of these watches, all of which are readily accessible for purchase. Fourth, the Tudor Black Bay Chronograph. Do you want a chronograph tool watch that has an appearance that is quite close to that of the Daytona and even comes from a Rolex sister brand? If so, consider the Rolex Submariner. There is no need to look any further than the newly released Tudor Black Bay Chronograph, which features an eye-catching panda dial arrangement. This watch is an authentic panda dial chronograph. Unlike the Daytona, which has rings for the subdials, the Black Bay Chronograph has gone the additional distance and sealed in the subdials completely for that whole retro panda effect. The Tudor Black Bay Chronograph design is without a doubt the timepiece on our list that best resembles a tool watch. When compared to the other watches on our list, including the genuine Rolex Daytona, the quality of this watch will be worse despite the fact that it has a great reputation for being sold at such a reasonable price. Fifth is the Heuer Formula 1. The Heuer Formula 1 would never be missing from any list of racing timepieces. The company is well versed in racing, having served as the primary sponsor of Formula 1 for many years, and its watch, which bears the brand's name, is frequently recognized as an excellent starting point in the plus $1,000 market. A fixed ceramic tachymeter bezel is perfect for speed calculations, and the 3 dials enable time tracking from 1/10 second to 30 minutes. A sapphire crystal, high-spec quartz movement, 200-meter water resistance, and super luminova are all included in the 43mm piece, which is made of high-quality stainless steel as you'd expect from a tag watch. 6. The Breitling Premiere B01 42mm. Like the Rolex Daytona, the Breitling Premiere B01 chronograph perfectly combines sportiness and elegance. The Premiere, on the other hand, has a rich history and distinct flair. Vintage-looking bicompax panda dial and the tachymeter on the dial instead of the bezel give the timepiece a distinct character. The sapphire crystal case back offers a peek in the in-house B01 movement inside this timepiece. With a 70-hour power reserve, Breitling's chronograph incorporates a date function unlike the Daytona. Waterproof to a depth of 100 meters or 328 feet, the 42mm case materials are of the highest grade. The steel bracelet and chronograph push pieces are both of the highest quality. Even while the bracelet is comparable to the Rolex Jubilee bracelet, it has a distinct Breitling look and feels all on its own. The Breitling Premiere is an excellent alternative to Daytona. It has many of the same features as a Rolex and even has a date function. It's also only a little over $7,000 in price. Seventh is the JaegerLeCoultre Polaris Chronograph. The Polaris chronograph from JaegerLeCoultre, in our opinion, is the most exquisite sports chronograph on the market at the moment, even outperforming the Daytona. In terms of beauty and functionality, the Polaris chronograph is a winner. In terms of size, the sports chronograph is 42mm in diameter and 11.9mm high. Individuality and remarkable attention to detail abound in this well-executed concept. Water resistance of 100 meters is amazing, but it pales in comparison to the wonderfully adorned movement that can be glimpsed through the sapphire crystal rear of the watch. The dial, on the other hand, is the watch's most notable feature. It has a variety of patterns and textures that really come to life in the sun. The Polaris chronograph, which retails for between $10,500 and $13,000, is far less expensive than the Daytona, yet you get a sufficiently high chronograph that would pay many times more from manufacturers like A. Lange & Söhne or Patek Philippe. Filippo Loretti Ascari Grand Prix 1952 for number 8. Filippo Loretti is a brand newcomer to the watch industry, but it's already making a name for itself with a line of high-quality but reasonably priced timepieces. If you're looking for a racer that deviates from the Daytona design mold, their Ascari Grand Prix GP series is a great option. A black rubber strap above a stainless steel case with a black rose gold style dial and bezel is what this specific piece is all about. A tachymeter at 9 o'clock is powered by a sweeping seconds hand, just like a decent race watch's chronograph features. With a 42mm casing, sapphire crystal, and a Seiko automatic movement, these timepieces are as tough as they come. Lastly is the Bulova Moonwatch. The Bulova Moonwatch is the final watch in our budget-friendly alternatives to Daytona. Not really a racing watch, but the Moonwatch was designed for the takeoff of Apollo 15 in 1971, and it has been reproduced as a watch for any high-performance situation. A chronograph and a tachymeter are both included in the Moonwatch, making it ideal for racing. The 3 o'clock dial tracks 1/10 of a second, and the other two dials support seconds and minutes up to 60. A luxurious sapphire crystal and a high-frequency quartz movement ensure incredible precision in spite of the watch's size, which is 45mm. In order to keep track of speed, the tachymeter on the outside contains exceedingly fine lines. Even though they are superior substitutes for Daytona, you may be perplexed as to why these watches are sold at such a wide variety of retail locations. The explanation is straightforward. Each of them is lacking in one particular feature. The perceived worth of the brand is what is lacking, regardless of the quality of the watch, its functionality, or even its beauty. People's thoughts have switched from the goal of great watchmaking to the pursuit of status and investment in the form of a store of value because of the popularity of Daytona. This shift is a direct result of the watch's design. The Daytona is the only one of the three that has a special feature that the other two do not have. It is totally up to you to decide whether you are participating in this activity because you have an interest in watches or because you want to demonstrate something to other people. So, those were the 9 best Rolex Daytona alternatives for every possible budget. Which of them do you like best? Let us know in the comments section. And as we end today's video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Luxury World. See you again in the next video.